Week 6, and finally, we have the moment we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, the prince who was promised, the number 1 ranked quarterback in my 2024 draft evaluations, the best quarterback prospect I've ever graded since like 2020, or even going back further when I was just a casual fan. Drake Maye started for the New England Patriots behind a backup offensive line, and the starters weren't good either, with bad wide receivers, most of whom were really young, against maybe the best, and if not top 5 defensive line in the NFL, who's been playing for a month and a half and is very ready to go, whereas Drake Maye is rusty and seeing things for the first time. Oh boy, this has been managed as poorly as possible, and still, Drake Maye played pretty well. He started off really bad, and that's a pattern that you can actually see going back to UNC. He plays his worst ball at the beginning of games. But after his third pass, which happened to be intercepted, he looked really good, and I gave him a C for the day. I easily could have given him a B or a B plus if he simply didn't fumble one time and didn't throw the first interception, because the second one wasn't his fault. So, lots to be excited about. Tons of potential. Actually performed pretty well, all things considered. And even with the bad start, he still acquitted himself like a perfectly average starting NFL quarterback. A C is the average grade in the over 100 games I've graded so far this year. So that ain't bad. Especially when you consider that, like, Caleb Williams' first start this year, F. Bo Nix' first start this year, F. Jaden Daniels' first start this year, D. Not bad. Just, especially considering he's got the worst coaching and worst roster of the group. But I have digressed. Let's get to the film, shall we? Let's get to it. First drop back, plenty of time, just a throwaway. What is Maye looking at? Well, first of all, it's his first snap as a starter, so he's probably panicking a little bit. Frankly, he has 9 right across the middle on a drag. Pop Douglas at the top of the screen, fairly open, right? Like, you can hit that comeback. You have to drive it in there, but you're Drake Maye. You got a killer arm. You can use it. You're not that pressured. Yes, it's third down. No, none of these are picking up a first. But, give him a chance. No need to throw it away. So that's a throwaway that I think is ill-advised. But I also think it's ill-advised that Drake Maye's first drop back as a starter is a 3rd and long. So, there's blame to go around. As I mentioned in the intro, Maye starts a little slow. Here, this play starts a little fast. Maye hasn't even begun to fake the handoff when he's already being pressured. He has to roll out. Nice job to roll out. Routine throw, but it just goes to show what a disaster class this offensive line really is. And against a really good Texans defensive line. Here, plenty of time. Give him that, and he just misses. This is really bad. And frankly, the entire first drive from Drake Maye is not good. Right? Here's the top of his drop. Nobody's open. Fine. These are the Patriots. You have the worst wide receivers in the NFL, arguably the worst wide receivers we've seen in some years. You're not going to get a lot of open receivers. But by the time he lets the ball go, he still is well protected. The offensive line holds up pretty darn well. It is third down, and Pop Douglas is open, beyond the sticks, and he's coming even further open, middle of the screen, can't miss him. And Drake Maye notices him. He does a good job mentally, but he misses high. And missing high is typically a symptom of panic, right? He's probably bouncing on his feet. He's not standing and driving his momentum into the ball. Let's watch the tight copy. We'll see his mechanics. Mechanics don't really matter unless you mess up. And when you mess up, we want to check the mechanics to see why you messed up. Here, really simple. See him bouncing around. He's not getting set. And when he throws, when the ball actually leaves his hand, right here, he's on his back foot because he's bouncing. He doesn't have his feet set. He's not light on his toes. He's heavy on his heels. And yeah, the ball just goes up. And when you miss high, you throw picks. We saw it with Cam Newton in New England. We see it all over the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold. This is a problem. That's an interceptable ball. So Drake Maye's first drive is a throwaway he shouldn't have had. His second drive is a routine throw and a very bad pickable throw. And here he looks just as panicked. Like, this is clearly a guy being thrust into the fire against a really good defense that is humming, right? They've been playing for 5 weeks, and Drake Maye is a guy who has not played a football game in 9 months because the preseason is fake. Again, play action, top of his drop right here. The pocket is already collapsing. He's not pressured yet, but you can tell he's being sped up. He feels uncomfortable, and he should. He's not safe. You've got a linebacker one-on-one with a running back here. That usually is a loss, and rather than waiting that extra tick and throwing the ball to Hunter Henry, bending his route across the middle right there, which would have been nice, really nice gain, Drake Maye decides to run. And that's not a bad thing, because as you see here, it's a really good run, but it's just more evidence that things are a little scary and a little uncomfortable for the rookie. That's a positive run. It's a positive pocket movement. It's a really good play. But it's not the Drake Maye that I saw at UNC, because this is a Drake Maye that's not comfortable yet. Again, this is a solid run. It is early in the downs. You don't need to force anything. Nobody's open. So this is actually a really good idea to run, and Maye picks up a few yards. It's a neutral run. Not even. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's a neutral run at best, a plus pocket movement. He might as well have thrown the ball away and saved himself the effort. Here, Maye gets the ball out on time, routine. And what are you going to do? I mean, this is the problem with playing Drake Maye this year. Here's the top of his drop, and then you bounce. So on a 5-step drop like this, you finish your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and then you bounce one time to survey, and that's when you're expected to make a decision on throwing the ball. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's his bounce. He has not finished his bounce, and he's being sacked. He literally did not get to go through his drop back, much less his progressions. That is a no-fault sack. That is an utter failure by the right tackle, and it is something we are going to have to get used to seeing when we watch Drake Maye tape. It sucks, I know, but it is what it is. Here, again, Drake Maye is breaking out the UNC recipe, trying to make something happen. Entire right side of the offensive line loses. Nobody's even remotely close to beginning to theoretically getting open. He's just got to pull the ball down and throw it away. It's a positive pocket movement. It is a throwaway that he should have made. Good job making chicken salad out of chicken excrement. Here, good job of stepping up in the pocket, although I don't know if you needed to. It's a routine throw. Drake Maye is now in rhythm. After that first interception, he settled in and became himself again. But no, we're dealing with a truly impossible situation. Here they run Hank. It's just a bunch of curls. Nobody's open. Maye tries to force a ball. You shouldn't. It's a bad throw, but it's more a bad decision than it is an inaccurate throw. And it's a bad decision because he's trying to make something happen when there is nothing that can happen good. Here, routine, nice little slant. I believe 9 is Butte, and I'm going to start deciding to call number 9 Butte. And if I'm wrong, I don't really care because none of these wide receivers will be starting in the NFL in 3 years. Routine throw. Who's open? Jalen Polk at the very bottom of the screen is open. Maybe? But that's the backside of the play for a reason. That's not where Maye's supposed to go with the ball. You can say that Maye had a bad pre-snap read, but actually I think that he had a great pre-snap read. I think, so check it out. All right, this is what the play is going to look like. It is a curl to the downside. It is a kind of fade to the top, and then it is just quick outs from the middle. Maye properly diagnoses this right off the bat. He sees, oh, this looks like basic cover 2, and I'm probably going to have split safety. And then underneath the split safeties, I'm just going to have, curl flats, hook curls. It should be really easy, right? I'll just wait a split second until I can hit this pot shot to the top of the screen on the streak right here in this void. And it should be so easy. But when we run the film, you'll see Maye finishes his play action and is already being hit. Like, look at 51, Will Anderson right there. Already all over Drake Maye's back. And yeah, if Drake Maye would have had a quarter of a second more, look at that. It worked out exactly how he thought. He absolutely could have hit this void. Nice big gain. It would have been beautiful. But alas, this is what happens when you don't have a single starting offensive lineman worth a damn, because Michael Onwenu got paid and decided he's done. I'm serious. I'm very serious when I say this. Right now, Hunter Henry and Drake Maye are the only players on this offense who deserve to be starting NFL players. And here, Drake Maye, rushed, again, guy at his feet, just misses. Yes, that is catchable. Could have been caught. It's a bad throw. So we got a no-fault sack and then a bad throw. Here, Drake Maye actually has a little bit of time. Now, who's open? Nobody's really open. By the time the ball's let go, the comebacks come open. Yay. But this offense is condensed. It is impotent and conservative. It is simple. Defenses can easily cover it, and you have literally zero excellent athletes who can break a play open. So, come back to Pop Douglas is the best you can do, and look at Pop Douglas break the play open. I was actually really impressed with Pop Douglas. Add him to the list of people who should certainly be starting. He's limited because he's so tiny. He can really only play in the slot. But he's great with the ball in his hands, and he legitimately knows how to run a route. Jalen Polk, I can't say much good about him. He's slow. He's not huge. He doesn't get open whatsoever. And now he can't catch. That's a really good throw. The play prior to Pop Douglas was a plus pocket movement with a routine throw that Pop Douglas made into a nice play. Here, Drake Maye makes a solid, accurate, on time, well thrown pass, about 13, 12 yards downfield. And Jalen Polk just drops it. Here, routine throw, nice quick slant. Drake Maye really didn't get a lot of chances to do anything big, but when he did, it don't get better. Right, look, this is what happens when you give Drake Maye a little bit of time and you call one singular play with downfield concepts. Right, keep everybody in to protect. The reason Drake Maye had a little bit of time is because they have 6 men blocking. The Patriots should do a lot of this. In fact, it should be 6 or 7 men blocking on a lot of these plays. And here, Drake Maye cashes in. Butte is not really open. Like, when the ball's let go, right? Here's the launch point. Butte's even. Now, if they're even, they're leaving. But that takes good anticipation, great aggression from Maye, and a perfect throw. Back foot on the 50. Ball lands at the 3. That is an elite, perfect throw. I saw some trolls online saying this is routine. Anybody could do this. If Jaden Daniels did this, you'd call it a solid throw. Fuck you. This is perfect. Literally could not be better. Oh, the cornerback fell down. No, he didn't. He was in really good position until the perfectly thrown ball pulled the wide receiver away from him. It was perfect. If it was underthrown even a little bit, we're looking at a pass breakup, but we were not because it is perfect. Drake Maye, you have arrived. Since that first interception, we're looking at very, very few negative plays. So screenshot bros are going to say, oh, why isn't Drake Maye throwing these curls? They're open. No, they're not open. Let me explain why. This play is going to start, and right here, back foot drops. This is where Maye needs to be making his decision. Now, the front side of the play is this combo up here. I'll draw it for you, make it simple. Polk is supposed to, I believe that's Polk, is supposed to run a little curl right here. And that's supposed to kind of pull this slot defender over because Drake Maye is supposed to use his eyes and fake like he's going to throw that stupid curl. Now, behind that, this receiver, no idea who it is supposed to run a little post or a little slant, basically anything that gets him horizontal over here to where number 5, Jalen Petrie, was supposed to be, right? You pull the defender out with one route, and you throw it right behind where he left. Solid, staple play call and combo. But because I believe it's Jalen Polk at the top of the screen, because Polk slowly runs his route rather than really selling that he's going to cut in or out and pulling Petrie away, now the ball can't get through Petrie, right? It's spooky season, but he's not a ghost. If Maye throws that ball, I don't care if he has Josh Allen's arm strength. It's getting picked off, and it's 6 points for the Texans. So that's not available. Instead, he's going to have to throw that slant or post to the receiver in the slot, as we mentioned earlier. but that's not open just yet. And then because this is the side of the play that Maye is supposed to be focusing on, he's not going to have time to get all the way down to the bottom of the screen to look at Butte open on the curl, right? It would take insane levels of processing, like Tom Brady in his 20th year levels of processing to get all the way down to 9 in time to make the throw to him. And if you wait even a second, 37 is going to come and run right through Butte's spine, and then he can't help you because he can't walk. You can't throw hospital balls. Now, by the time, I think it's 84, is that Kendrick Bourne? I thought he was hurt. Whatever. Whoever that slot receiver is that's running that little slant, post, bend over, whatever the heck you want to call it, by the time he comes open, right, look at the slot, right now is when the ball needs to come out to him. It's too late. Maye is being hit. Now, yes, it was a little, it's a little bit too long to hold onto the ball. Right here, theoretically, you'd like to get it out, but you're already being tomahawk tackled. Best practice is to just hold onto the ball and eat the sack. So it's a no-fault sack. Play didn't work. Protection didn't hold up. Unfortunately, I have to charge Maye with a fumble. Fumbles are bad. You can't do it. Even if it's not your fault you got hit, you got to hold onto the ball. And he'll learn. Screens are routine. Nothing to break down. This is the gotta-have-it ball. I mean, Maye gets just enough time. He throws from a muddy pocket. That's nice. Good job to handle the fact that there are bodies around you. And you see that ball just a little too far out of the reach. It's an inaccurate throw. Bad throw. You know, it stinks too because it's Pop Douglas. So if you just put a little loft under it and let him run under it, who knows how far he can run with that ball in his hands. Really unfortunate. Here, this is nice. Right? Look at the footwork. This is what I love. People were complaining all spring. Oh, Drake Maye's footwork is mechanics. Okay, well, sometimes you don't have the luxury of great mechanics. Sometimes you're rolling to your left on a naked boot, and there is a 300-pound defensive lineman ready to eat you. And so you don't get to set your feet and throw beautifully like a C.J. Stroud or a Geno Smith. And you have to just get the ball out there like a Patrick Mahomes. And that's exactly what Maye does. Plus pocket movement, accurate throw. Yeah, it was a little low. Boo-hoo. He threw the ball 30 yards while falling away and being hit. That is a perfectly fine throw. Routine throw, plus pocket movement. Great job after the catch. And another unfortunate fumble. So again, since that early interception on the second drive, Drake Maye has been really good. Here, plus pocket movement. Nice. So if Drake Maye just throws this ball, right? Let's say he doesn't extend the play. He just operates within structure. Assuming again that Maye throws to the same target, the tight end, I believe it's Henry, this man I circled is going to probably get a targeting call against him or some kind of unsportsmanlike conduct for hospitalizing the recipient of the target. So you cannot throw that ball. That's a hospital ball. Only Aaron Rodgers does that. It's unethical. I don't like it. Don't do it. Instead, Maye pulls the ball down, escapes a rapidly collapsing pocket, plus pocket movement. Good job. He rolls right to buy himself time. Nobody, well, only one player actually participates in the scramble drill and gets open, and it happens to be that very same tight end who steps back into the void, Travis Kelce style. Brilliant. And while he's not Travis Kelce after the catch, he is plenty good enough. That is a routine throw, but it was made possible by a really, really smart job of Maye playmaking outside of structure. 2+ pocket movements, one for breaking the pocket, one for creating a new throwing lane. Swing passes are a routine. They might as well be screens. Pressure in his face right away. Maye does not care. He throws a nice, accurate ball to Pop Douglas. Yes, he could have let him, and if he leads him, who knows? Maybe it's a touchdown. It's a routine throw anyway. It might even be solid. It is certainly a plus pocket movement. This is certainly routine. And here you go. That's a touchdown. Maye gets there just in time. Processing is just right. Right? You see it's a flood concept. So you got 85, the tight end, coming down on a sideline running route, and then you've got Butte running that that crosser, it's too deep to be a drag and it's too shallow to be an over. It is whatever the heck it is. And both are open, and May finds, I believe it's Hunter Henry. It is for a touchdown. Nice job. I mean, like, everything May has done since that interception has been exactly what he's supposed to do. Box scores. All they do is lie. Here you go. You tell me. Do you think when Will Anderson sees this ball, he's thinking, ooh, an inaccurately thrown ball, one that I can grab? No. He's thinking, ooh, let me slap it. And so if the defender who touches the ball is not intending to catch the ball, how can we blame Drake Maye for throwing a pick? Also, this is something I talk about a lot. Drake Maye is about 6'4", right? Like every bit of 6'4", and he has a nice overhand delivery, right? He's not throwing sidearm. He's getting the ball batted despite being 6'4" and throwing over his head just like Tom Brady. Why? Well, it's because 72 is about to fall on his face. Anytime you're about to break your nose on a fall as a lineman, you're the problem. Brandon Thorne is a brilliant offensive line evaluator, and he has a saying, punish jumpers. Well, if 72 gets his hands into the defender, if 72 stabs, he doesn't even have to block him well. Just punch him in the tummy one time, which is actually what you're supposed to do on this play. Then Will Anderson can't jump because he's being punched in the tummy, and it hurts and you flinch. And if you can't jump, this ball gets completed to Antonio Gibson, and he's got a nice little convoy, and he can get to that edge and at least get a first down. So the difference between a nice, easy pass resulting in a good gain and an interception is 72, this Thomas fellow, falling flat on his face. That's not Drake Maye's fault. It's a bad throw, sure. Not even really. But let's call it a bad throw. It's not pickable. Here, May does a nice job. He holds onto the ball a little too long, but he finds an open receiver who's already got momentum working upfield. Routine throw, nice job processing. All right, who's open? Even screenshot bros can't tell you because nobody is. May bails out of the pocket, rolls right, and everybody's working the scramble drill, right? Right? No, nobody moves at all. They are all inept. They don't know what they're doing. So May has to do it all himself, and boy, does he. This is the Josh Allen component of Drake Maye's game. It is a positive run and a positive movement. It is really good athleticism and playmaking. Notice that he kept his eyes downfield the entire time, despite the fact that no wide receivers wanted to play football anymore on that particular play. That is excellent. That is the kind of hero ball that we need from a quarterback on a terrible team. Here, whoops, that's bad. These things are going to happen. Those things are also going to happen. Look at this. Pocket collapsing, knows he's going to get hit, takes a hit to make a play, fade away, great zip on the ball, 15, 16 yards downfield, perfect placement. And because the placement is so perfect, it turns into a touchdown. That is a great throw. Now, typically, a ball thrown this distance, I would call solid, but I always say, if the placement is perfect to the extent that it creates yak, I will upgrade it one category. And again, 15 yards, okay, maybe it's great. But when it's perfectly placed and the receiver doesn't even have to break stride and it leads to a touchdown, come on, give the kid his flowers. Great throw. Now we are experiencing the full Drake Maye experience. Look at this. I mean, clean pocket, nice job. Diagnoses the zone immediately. One open receiver, puts the ball in there perfectly. It's a good little relationship Maye is working on with Booty here. Good throw, solid throw, processing just right. Pre-snap read was correct. Top of the drop, plenty of time. We're entering garbage time, so things should be getting easier, but here Maye gets oblivious. I know he wants a deep shot. There isn't one available. You just got to take the check down. Drake Maye comes from UNC, where his offense wasn't very good at anything, but at least Tez Walker was fast. Here in New England, he doesn't even have that. I love Pop Douglas as of this game, but he's still not quite a deep threat just because he's tiny. That's a bad sack. You can't take that sack. That's the first one that's Maye's fault. Again, we're entering garbage time, so this matters less and less, but look at how condensed this play is. I mean, this is just poor play calling. It's poor design, and I understand, yeah, you can't run 4 verts every play. I understand you can't run 4 verts with slow dudes, but you could do better than this, and he doesn't. By he, I mean Alex Van Pelt. So Maye rolls it out, and he gets a nice neutral little run, and whatever, nothing to write home about. We've already learned most of what we're going to learn from this game. Here, this is just a throwaway. Offensive line can't even block up a screen. And a routine throw. I mean, he's an impressive runner. You can learn that even in garbage time, but yeah, what is he supposed to do? Who's open? Nobody's even thinking about becoming open until Maye already crosses the line of scrimmage as a runner. So positive run, positive pocket movement to juke a dude out. It's all good stuff. But, I'm here to see Drake Maye process and throw deep, and he's not being allowed to do either, and it's garbage time. Here, he rolls out, he extends the play, he creates something, but he just airmails the throw. That's bad. Things happen. Really good quarterbacks miss throws sometimes too. It's okay. That's not a miss. Nice job on 4th down to keep it going. It is still routine, but, he did something. Here, Drake Maye extends the play about as long as humanly possible. Here's the top of his drop. Nobody's a little bit open. So he rolls out. Does a really good job to extend this play. He should have already been sacked. And nobody's even thinking about getting open. And when he rolls out to his left, everybody kind of just hangs around. Nobody's trying to get open. Nobody's doing anything clever. So he's got to throw the ball away. That's not his fault. Plus pocket movement, throw away. Look, Jalen Polk helped. So, in the end, I thought Drake Maye had a pretty good debut. And if you could clean up just a couple things, it could have been a really good debut. I gave him a C. He broke almost even. He was basically a replacement level starter in his first game, but it's his first game. He's getting thrown into the fire against a really good defense with a really bad offense and a bad offensive coordinator. That's as good as I could have hoped for. Yeah, I would have liked to see him clean up that first, real drive. The first play doesn't really count, and then the other 2 plays, not great. Routine throw and a pick. His first 3 plays, bad throwaway, routine throw, pick. Clean that up though, and all of a sudden you're looking at a really good game. That was the only interceptable pass. The other interception was a fluke, not his fault whatsoever. Yeah, I mean that's just a high miss. Throw that away because it's nerves, right? All of a sudden we're looking at like a solid B minus game, and hold on to that football when you get sacked. So now, not a fumble. And all of a sudden we're looking at a high B to B plus game, and a B plus in your first start would be nutty. He hit a deep ball. That's great. That's all you need. One elite throw, the deep ball. One great throw, the touchdown to Pop Douglas. He moved the ball. He was really good with his feet. He was excellent navigating the pocket. He was not afraid. Yeah, there was a little bit of accuracy concerns, but I think they'll clean themselves up. I also did notice he starts slow generally at UNC. Some people told me about it. I went back and checked. They're right. It is a thing he does. And maybe that means that an offensive coordinator needs to know him better and get him some quick, easy throws, some screens, some flats, some high-low reads on rollouts, just so that he can get in a rhythm and get cooking. But, man, I'm serious. After that pick, after that interceptable ball on his 3rd throw, took off. Excellent game. So, yes, it was a C, but there are lots of reasons to be very optimistic. And frankly, that's the best debut of any rookie this year. Like Jaden Daniels got off to a hot start of the season, but his first game against the Bucs was terrible. Couldn't move the ball at all. And the Bucs defense is not nearly as good as this Houston defense. And frankly, the Commanders run a way trickier, more clever offense than the Patriots. Going forward, I would like to see less Jalen Polk, more Pop Douglas, maybe more Kayshon Boutte. and more downfield shots. And if that means that you have to keep a sixth or even seventh blocker in to make sure that May actually has time to throw the downfield shots and the receivers have time to get open downfield, fine by me. What makes May special is his incredible deep ball and his downfield accuracy, his arm talent, his ability to extend plays. Leverage those things. Don't run a bunch of curls to the sticks. You ran way too much Hank, AVP. Instead, let May do what he does best and profit from it. Uh, what do you guys want to see in start two? Are there changes you think that the Patriots can make that will allow May to play better, produce better? What did you think of his actual performance? Yeah, the stats were pretty decent, but we already established they kind of lie, right? Like one of the touchdown passes was pretty easy. One of the interceptions has nothing to do with Drake Maye's play. Took 3 sacks, but only one was his fault at all. So hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I'll be grinding film. Hasta.